OK, bonjour. Est-ce que vous m'entendez en ligne? Online, you guys hear me? Yes? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, oui, bon, good. Excellent. Alors, bonjour tout le monde. Alors, aujourd'hui, on va parler de prix. Comment fixer les prix sur une propriété. OK? Je vais vous dire de quoi. C'est quoi l'élément le plus important lorsqu'on liste une propriété?
Le prix.
C'est quoi le deuxième élément le plus important quand on liste une propriété? Sa commission. Le bon prix. Et la troisième? Le bon prix. La quatrième? Hein, Michel, la quatrième?
Le prix.
Oui. La cinquième?
Le prix.
C'est toujours le prix. OK? Beaucoup de gens vont dire, oui, mais ma maison, elle est ci. Mon immeuble est ça. C'est vrai. Ils ont peut-être des distinctions, mais la réalité est que tout a une valeur. Et le plus vous allez être proche de la valeur réelle de la propriété, plus content votre client va être. Pourquoi que le client va être content? Exactement. Okay? C'est quoi qui s'attend de vous? De la vente. Fait que si le prix n'est pas correct, est-ce que vous allez avoir des visites? Non. S'il n'y a pas de visite, y a-t-il une frustration qui se crée? Alors, le prix, c'est l'élément le plus important dans une négociation. C'est bon? Alors, je vais vous donner des trucs. Quand vous prenez une propriété, si la propriété vaut 500 000, c'est quoi le prix maximum que vous devez la prendre? Il y a une formule, je vais vous l'expliquer, il y a une formule, mais le rule of thumb, c'est 5 %. Mais il y a vraiment une formule pour ça. Il y a vraiment une formule, une vraie formule réelle. Okay? Je vais vous expliquer la formule. Qui ici connaît le baromètre dans la PCIQ? Qui a déjà été voir le baromètre? Vous connaissez, on vous l'a appris? OK. Le baromètre, si vous allez au baromètre, vous allez voir le prix médian dans un secteur depuis les 12 derniers mois a bougé de combien? Et vous allez prendre ce chiffre-là et vous allez le diviser en deux. Pourquoi en deux?
Parce que ça, c'est le pourcentage de 3 mois avant. OK.
Fait qu'on va prendre des exemples. On va dire que le marché a bougé à la hausse de 4 %. C'est bon? Depuis 12 mois, le prix médian a monté de 4 %. Pourquoi est-ce que je dis divisé par 2? Généralement, vos contrats, vous les prenez pour 6 mois. Fait qu'on prend 4 divisé par 2, ça nous donne 2 %. C'est bon? Vous me suivez jusqu'à date?
Yeah.
Et généralement, l'acheteur va négocier combien? Si le prix est élevé, si vous avez beaucoup de visites, généralement sur une propriété, c'est quoi le rule of thumb que je vous ai appris? 5 %. OK? Si c'est 5 %, ça veut dire qu'il y a une possibilité de négocier 5 % à la baisse ou une motivation du vendeur de descendre son prix ou d'ajuster son prix sur les 6 prochains mois de 5 %. Fait que vous allez prendre le 5 % et le 2 %. Idéalement, n'allez pas plus que 5 %. Idéalement, n'allez jamais plus que 5 %. Mais si vous avez vraiment de la misère à aller chercher l'inscription, ce qui est important à voir, c'est qu'est-ce que le marché est en train de faire. Parce que l'opposé peut être vrai aussi. Quand on a eu, il y a à peu près 12 mois, on a eu une baisse des prix. Vous s'en souvenez? Pas une grosse baisse, mais une petite baisse. Il y a quelques pourcentages. S'il y a une baisse de 3 %, on va dire une baisse de 4 %, bien si vous ne prenez pas ça en compte, vous êtes pas, c'est 5 %. Fadi dit toujours 5 %, puis on ne prend pas en considération que le marché est en baisse. Mais la réalité, c'est que ce n'est pas 5 %, c'est 3 %. Vous suivez? C'est pour ça que c'est un rule of thumb, le 5 %, mais c'est important aussi de voir où est-ce que le marché s'en va. S'il s'en va à la hausse, s'il est stable ou s'il s'en va à la baisse, bien, prenez ça en considération aussi. OK? C'est bon? Oui, vas-y.
Ça, c'est un base de 4 %. Tu le coupes en
Tu
deux,
coupes en
c'est
deux.
2%, et après ça, là, you take your 5%,
5
and
plus 2.
you deduct it.
No, 5. C'est à la base? Oui. Yeah, you
Yeah,
deduct
okay.
it. So it's 3%. Yeah, correct. At 1. Okay. Good. So, là, je vais vous parler un petit peu aussi des offres. C'est très important qu'une fois que vous avez pris la propriété, beaucoup de gens font cette erreur-là. J'essaie de le répéter durant toutes les formations parce que c'est important que vous compreniez ça et que vous fassiez comprendre ça aux clients. Si on prend une propriété en vente dans le marché actuel, au bon prix, elle devrait se vendre en combien de temps? 2-3 semaines. Okay? Si ce n'est pas vendu en 3 semaines, s'il n'y a pas d'offre en 3 semaines, we got to reduce price. Okay? Mais de combien? Yes, partout. Mais de combien est-ce qu'il va falloir qu'on baisse?
Ça dépend. Si on a des visites et on n'a pas d'offre.
OK, dans le marché actuel, c'est quoi des visites? Parce que là, chaque fois, le marché, dépendamment du marché, ça va changer. Disons que tu as pris une propriété, 500 000 au bout de 3 semaines, tu as eu des visites. Combien de visites tu as eu?
Ça dépend de combien je vais descendre, mais si jamais.
Au prix que tu l'as, on va prendre un exemple.
500 000, j'ai 5 visites.
OK. Est-ce que c'est considéré beaucoup, ça, en 3 semaines, dans un marché actuel?
Non. Wow. Ça
Dans le marché actuel?
10. C'est correct.
C'est bien. OK, mais si vous en avez plus que 5, en bas de 5, c'est pas assez.
Ouais.
Mais en haut de 5, ça veut dire que c'est quand même assez élevé dans le marché actuel.
Ouais.
Ça veut dire qu'il va falloir qu'on ajuste de combien?
5%.
5%.
Pour baisser les prix.
Oui. Et là, je vais arriver à quelque chose, juste un moment. Oui, vas-y.
Qu'est-ce qui arrive comme tu as juste mis l'inscription, tu reçois 13 visites, tu as 2 offres? Voilà.
Quand tu as des offres, il n'y a pas de problème. Est-ce que les offres viennent au prix normal?
Asking and a little low.
Yeah, you're good. So the price is good. So you're good. Il y a 3 choses qui vont arriver. La première, c'est que tu vas avoir des visites et tu vas avoir des offres. Si tu as des offres, le prix est proche de la réalité, on est correct, c'est le bon prix. Mais c'est dans le cas où tu as des visites, personne n'est intéressé de mettre une offre. Là, il faut que tu ajustes de 5 %. Et je vais vous dire de quoi, là. Faites bien attention de ne pas ajuster moins que 5 %. Quand je donne 5 et 10, je vais vous expliquer le 5 et le 10. Gardez ça en tête. Ça, là, c'est une religion en immobilier. Ce n'est pas négociable. Je vais vous expliquer pourquoi ce n'est pas négociable. S'il y a beaucoup de visites et pas d'offres, c'est 5 %. Fait que sur 500 000, c'est combien? C'est 25 000. Si le vendeur vous dit, je suis prêt à baisser à 490, qu'est-ce qu'on dit au client? Pas de problème, on va attendre encore une semaine ou deux. On en reparlera dans une semaine ou deux. N'acceptez pas 490. Pourquoi?
Parce qu'après ça, il va être encore plus difficile de le rebaisser.
Bon.
La prochaine fois. What is it?
5%. You don't ever accept less than these numbers that I'm giving you now. 5 and 10%. So when you list a property, Shula, if you have a lot of visits, more than 5, 6, 7 visits within 3 weeks, no offers, it's 5%.
We reduce it 5%.
Yes.
Okay.
So 500 minus 25 minus 5%, 475. You don't accept any reduction above 475.
Except from
From the seller. When you're talking with the seller.
Yeah.
OK? C'est bon? S'il y a une visite ou 2 visites, c'est 10 %. OK? 10 %. Okay? Tout ce qui est en bas de 5 en 3 semaines, là, c'est 10 %. Et 10 %, ça veut dire qu'il va falloir qu'on baisse à 450 000. Ça se peut qu'ils vous disent, je sais, Fadi, tu sais, je suis plus confiant. Est-ce qu'on peut faire 480? Est-ce qu'on peut faire 475? Est-ce qu'on peut faire 470? La réponse est non. On ne dit pas non, on dit, regarde, je pense qu'on va attendre. On peut faire 440. Exactement. Okay? L'important, puis je vous le dis, vous allez faire, puis ça va arriver que vous allez vouloir faire cette erreur-là. Je vais vous dire quand est-ce que vous allez vouloir la faire, OK? Je vais vous l'expliquer. Au bout de 3 semaines, 4 semaines, vous lui dites on baisse de 10 %, on baisse de 10 %. Il vous dit non, 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 non. Maximum qu'il veut baisser, c'est 5. Et là, vous dites, peut-être qu'il y a quelqu'un qui va acheter. OK. Grosse erreur. Parce que là, faire baisser l'autre 25%, ça va être la fin de la planète. C'est très difficile de baisser plus que 2 fois en 6 mois. Imaginez-vous d'une autre manière, OK? Vous avez une cible, vous avez un fusil, et vous devez tirer. Vous avez deux chances. Tu manques ton premier coup, il reste une chance. Tu manques ton deuxième coup, tu n'as plus de listing. C'est fini. OK? C'est qui n'a pas fait son travail selon le client? Ceux qui appellent les expirés, là, quand vous posez la question, qu'est-ce qui a fait en sorte que vous n'avez pas vendu la maison? C'est quoi 9 fois sur 10 la réponse? C'est le courtier qui n'a pas vendu. Le courtier n'était pas bon. La réalité, c'est que le prix n'était pas bon. Ce n'est pas le courtier qui n'était pas bon. Il peut être le pire courtier sur la planète. Si le prix était bon, il s'est vendu. Okay? C'est le prix. On ne peut pas dire ça au client, fait qu'on dit OK, on passe à l'autre question. En réalité, c'est le prix. C'est bon? Fait que comprenez cette partie-là, c'est très important que s'il n'accepte pas de baisser son 5 ou 10 qui est supposé, laisse-le aller pour une semaine ou deux encore. Reprends la conversation dans 2 semaines.
Laisse mijoter.
Laisse mijoter. Okay? Moi, des fois, ce que je faisais, c'est que je leur envoyais la modification à signer. Je dis, regarde, je vais quand même te l'envoyer la minute que tu décides, laisse-la. Ah, en fait, je ne la signerai pas. C'est correct. Ça reste dans ses courriers. OK? Il passe. C'est bon? Alors, une autre chose qui est très, très, très importante de faire, c'est de regarder des propriétés, aller visiter des propriétés. Qui ici va visiter des propriétés dans son secteur? Tu vois? En fait, tu fais combien de visites à peu près?
Bon, pas assez.
Pas assez?
Pas assez.
Et je vais vous dire une chose. Quand j'ai commencé en immobilier, dans ma 3e ou 4e année, mon coach me disait, c'est quoi le prix d'un, puis il me donnait quelque chose. Un split level dans tel secteur. Je disais, là, j'allais voir. Il dit, tu n'es pas supposé aller voir. Tu es supposé savoir. Puis c'est là où ce qui m'a poussé au début, surtout dans mes débuts, d'aller voir beaucoup de propriétés. Ce que je faisais, c'est que j'appelais le courtier. Je disais, bonjour Alexandra, j'ai un acheteur qui vient de Toronto. Je suis en train de faire des prévisites dans le secteur. Est-ce que c'est correct si je vais visiter à telle heure, telle journée? Oui, pas de problème. J'y allais. J'allais voir la maison, je voyais le prix. Je la mettais, je la taguais, la propriété. Quand elle se vendait, je vérifiais c'était quoi le prix qu'elle s'est vendue. Fait que je savais que je l'ai vu, là, 4 chambres à coucher, 2 salles de bain dans tel secteur, elle s'est vendue à 625. OK. C'est bon. Je sais c'est quoi. Fait que plus que vous allez voir des propriétés, plus que vous allez connaître vos prix. Jennifer, je vends des téléphones quand Why don't you guys have pen and papers? You want pen and papers?
Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah.
So, donc, c'est important de faire des visites, d'aller voir des propriétés, parce que si vous n'y allez pas, vous n'allez pas savoir le prix. Là, quand que vous allez avoir à lister une propriété, je vais vous donner un autre truc. Si vous travaillez beaucoup un secteur, moi, je travaillais beaucoup l'île Bizarre parce que j'habitais là dans ce temps-là, c'était pas compliqué. J'allais chez le client, quand je lui montrais les 3 comparables, je les avais déjà vus, les 3 comparables, quand ils étaient en vente.
C'est important.
Je connais. Fait que quand il me disait, oui, mais un tel, je dis, un tel, tu ne vois peut-être pas les photos, là, mais la cuisine avait été complètement refaite. C'est pas mal plus grand qu'ici. Ah oui, tu le savais? Ben oui, j'ai visité. La négociation, là, je veux dire une chose, c'était pas mal plus serré. Pas mal plus smooth. Pas mal plus. Ouais, mais ma maison est plus belle. Quand il me disait ça, je souriais. Quand je souriais avec froid, ben pourquoi tu souris? Ben je dis, parce que je l'ai visité, la maison. Elle n'est pas. La vôtre est très jolie, oui. Mais celle-là, elle est très bien aussi. Il ne pouvait pas dire que la sienne était plus belle. Chacun sa maison, elle vaut qu'est-ce que ça vaut. Mais c'est important de voir les comparables avant qu'ils se vendent. Parce que c'est bien beau d'y aller et de dire, voici les 3-4 comparables qui se sont vendus, mais combien parmi eux avez-vous vu avant? Aucun. Fait que si vous voulez travailler un secteur ferme, si vous voulez vraiment être un king ou une reine dans un secteur ferme, je vous conseille fortement de visiter. Si ça ne vous dérange pas, vous voulez travailler partout à Montréal, c'est correct. Là, c'est moins pire, mais c'est bien aussi quand même d'aller voir quelques propriétés dans différents secteurs. Surtout si vous pensez, je vais vous dire une chose, si vous êtes capable, si vous avez un rendez-vous avec un client pour une propriété qui en vaut la peine, je vous suggère d'aller en voir d'autres juste avant. OK? Si le rendez-vous, c'est pour demain, essayez de booker 2-3 rendez-vous cette journée-là, juste aller voir le secteur, qu'est-ce qui se vend, puis c'est quoi les maisons. Ils sont à peu près du même calibre. Okay? Parce qu'ils sont la compétition.
But like an open house?
No.
Like you're looking for an open house?
No.
You're actually booking a visit with
I book a
somebody?
visit with the agent. I try. So what I do is, let's say, Mike, let's say I have an $800,000 property I want to go look at in Ville Saint Laurent.
Yeah.
Okay, in, I don't know, let's say,
2 streets down, there's another one.
whatever. So you look at what's up for sale, resembling that, and ask for a visit. And say I have an different city buyer who wants to go review these properties.
Another town buyer.
Exactly. And then you go, you do these 2-3 properties, 4 properties,
No, that makes
whatever
sense.
do
You
you get
better know
your
how you're
access.
getting in. That's
Then
not
you're,
bad,
just say I have an out-of-town buyer. That's it. And so why that's important? That's important for 2 reasons. Because when you're going to come and list the property, they're going to ask you about these properties.
Absolutely, of course.
All right, and
And
then
we always see
you've
pictures,
seen
so-
them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, this one, yeah. I went yesterday. Not only to this one, I went to this one, and this one.
Yeah.
I want to know, sir, your competition. I'm working for you. I want to know who your competition is.
The basement smells moldy.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Can you say that? Can you say
No, you can't say that. Like, dude, really?
I didn't see you.
that? You're right. You're right. Sorry.
An inspector can't say that.
Yes.
What would you do on email contact them afterwards when they ask you for showing feedback?
Well, you give the feedback. Say, look, I saw the place. It was very clean, very nice. I'll inform my buyer or whatever. That's it.
And then what do you do when this you have new listing of whatever you decide?
Tell him to
It
come
is
see
what it
yours.
is. Come see mine. Maybe you'll have a buyer. I don't
Tell him to come see yours.
I tell them, look, if you have a buyer, come. When you're visiting a property, is it possible that you get a buyer to your property that you just listed
Yeah.
that doesn't like it, but you know what? Hey, that one would be great for him.
It's an instant flip, yeah.
It's an instant sale. And it's happened many, many times. Why? Because the client comes in, is looking for something specific, and say, hey, by the way, I've seen yet another property that may resemble what you're looking for. Want me to show it to you? Yeah. I'll call the agent immediately. Hey, listen, you know that buyer that didn't work out, but I have another buyer. So, is it true? Isn't that what we do? We're working with both buyers and sellers. So yeah, you need to know your competition, but don't forget that's the competition of that property, but it is a product for your buyer that's coming here.
If anything,
I'll give you guys a trick, okay? Yeah,
you're
keep
so
it.
much, go ahead.
keep it
I'll
on.
keep it.
I'm gonna give you guys a little something that I used to do, okay? And I was telling one agent that's been in the business 8 years, and her answer was like, "What? You did that? That makes so much sense." Listen, I got a call. So okay, you get a call for a listing. What do you do normally? Let's say you have a listing on Banana Street. What do you do normally?
Filter it. See if
Okay, you've pre-qualified, he's
Listing
qualified
listing.
to buy your
Yeah.
listing, right? So you basically show him the property and then you try to gain him as a client maybe for future. You want to skip a step? Go faster? So when you're talking to that client and when you qualify him, so Jan, you're qualified, you can buy, he sends me the pre-approval. I say, Jan, I booked the visit for Thursday. But hey, I got 4 other properties that are more or less the same quality. Would you like to see them at the same time? Yes. What do? I book 4 other visits. So now I'm not just showing him my property that I have for sale. I'm also showing him 3 or 4 other properties.
Yeah.
Now, what are the odds that he will like one versus having 4 that he saw? Your odds just went up, right? And second, you just won him maybe over as a client.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You're proactive, right?
You're proactive.
Compared to the
So
other
you're
agents.
always going to win these conversations because you are actually working with these potential buyers. And he may not buy mine. For me, it doesn't really matter. He buys this one or this one, as long as he buys. Yeah.
Do you sign your buyers here?
Yes. Actually, now you have to. That's a good news.
Plus, out of town buyers that happen to me.
Oh yeah,
But,
out of town are the best
I
because
did,
that's when you show them
I
everything.
visits with their video, and they bought. They never even came here.
Yeah.
They only came when they sold the same house. When we bought, they never worked on organize everything. Like visited electronic signature.
Yeah.
notary.
You do your verifications.
So
and-
it's like, let's say if someone asking me, they visit and the buyer's not there, they just not doing it. And plus another property I sold, they don't give the
Video.
the video, it was open house, and I saw it, but that's the
Yeah,
one
they-
where
yeah.
they submitted offer and we passed.
That's the one they liked?
And we saw this,
Yeah.
didn't have some
Yeah,
but
right.
so out of 1,000 buyers, so not available buyers for that particular visit, it happens.
Yeah.
It's super normal.
Yeah,
Someone asking me, can we come just as my video? Yes, of course.
And a lot of people are out of town buyers. Like you get that a lot. So it's not something that's weird to hear. Okay, I have an out of town buyer and I need to make some visits for him. Also, yeah. But at the end of the day, as a listing agent, do I really care what you're doing? As long as if you see my property, that's one more person that could potentially find me a buyer. That's how I look at it. You know, and even if the seller asks a question, I'll say, look, he has an outside. Once actually a seller asked me, he says, do you think really he has buyers? I don't really care. Because when he's going to come, at least he'll know about the property. So when he does have a buyer, maybe our property is not required. And that's how it is. Our job is, okay, so our job is to sell the properties that we list. But at the same time, if there's a buyer that doesn't like that property, are you going to throw him out? You're going to try to find him something. Why not do it in advance? See what I mean?
But in case the buyer doesn't have a broker.
Well, that's the first question I asked.
Oh, yeah.
You ask that question, you got to ask that question.
The buyer has a broker.
The buyer's broker should contact you first.
How's the sale?
I sent you guys a message in the group. You saw it?
Yeah.
Many times I've sent it. Use it. It works like a charm. When I get a request for a visit, that's the message I send out. Okay? So basically saying if you don't have an agent, I suggest that you have one, but if not, I'll be there to give you a portable service. And if they say, no, we don't, you're done, you've done your job. Okay? Then you give them a portable service. C'est bon? Okay, good. Let me see. Okay, so let me ask you guys something. Who's responsible for the price? Us. Okay, so good.
I mean, what do you mean to list the price or to?
So let me ask you in a different question. If a patient goes to a doctor and he's not feeling well, and the doctor diagnoses him with cancer, can he tell him just take an aspirin? What does that say? Yes, say the truth. I've diagnosed your system, and unfortunately, Mr. Patient, you have cancer. Is it good news? No, but does the doctor have to do it? So if the doctor doesn't do it, can he be liable to lose his license? Well, maybe you guys should lose your license over lying and not saying the truth about price. Price is the basics of selling, and we said that in the beginning. So you got to be honest with them. Now, they may not want to listen to you, and that, trust me, that happens a lot. Okay, but what's our job?
To sell and buy homes.
And you need to be honest. How can you sell a property if you're not honest with them about price? Think about it.
You're not giving your service if you're lying to them.
I at one point, like in one point during the listing presentation, most of my listing presentations, I will say this at one point. I'm like, okay, why did you ask me to come over? Well, we wanted to see what you have to say. Okay, so you want me to say what you want to hear, or do you want me to say the truth? Which one do you prefer? Well, I want you to say the truth. Are you willing to handle the truth? And I ask it. It's a shitty question to ask, but they look at it and they're like, yeah, that's the price. Are you okay with this? Well, we're not okay with this. So you're not really to handle the truth. So what price do you want to list it at? And that's when you guys are going to see how serious they are about selling. When they give you something else, and I've taught you many ways to answer objections, but you got to be honest about price. And not only that you got to be honest about price, you got to have the documents in their hands, because at one point they'll challenge you. If you did not take the property at the right price, whose fault is it that it's not sold? Yours. And they're going to put it in your face. So you always got to go back to that document. So when it's not sold within 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you say, look, you remember when we met? I told you to list it at $499. And you didn't want to listen to me, and you just wanted to put it at $459, $559. Well, let me ask you, how many visits did we get so far? How many offers did we get so far? When would you like to receive an offer? When would you like to move to Saint-Hubert? When would you, and have these conversations. But if you don't have anything in writing, then it's not worth much, okay? So who's responsible for the price in reality? Is it you?
The buyer.
No. Your job is to tell them the truth.
But then you decide, right?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, when there's a sale, what makes the sale?
I was gonna say it's the market.
The market. Can you decide? When prices go up, is it because of us? When they go down, well, actually, the government lately wanted it to be because of us.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the funniest crap I've seen in my life. Anyways, so is it because of us that market price go up or down or sideways? It's not our fault. Because it is not us who decide on the price, we cannot take credit for it. Remember that. Remember this. You're not allowed to take credit. Vous n'avez pas le droit de prendre aucun crédit pour ce que vous êtes en train de faire. Votre travail, c'est de mettre au bon prix, avoir des offres, négocier des offres, closer la transaction. Fait que si, en montant, ce n'est pas à cause de vous, ben en baissant non plus, ce n'est pas à cause de vous. Le marché, c'est lui qui décide. Et le marché est fait d'acheteurs, il est fait des banques, les prêteurs et les évaluateurs. Parce que même si je liste une propriété à 800 000 et que j'ai un acheteur qui ne connaît pas le marché et qui s'en vient me dire « Oui, moi je l'ai à la maison, pop, 800 000, puis elle en vaut 700 », est-ce que la banque va financer?
Non.
La banque va financer pour 700.
Exactement. La banque va envoyer un évaluateur, va dire « Ça vaut 700 », ça ne va pas se vendre. Fait que quand le client me dit « Oui, mais on va essayer », je dis « Regarde, à la fin de la journée, peu importe ce qu'on essaye, la banque va financer ce que ça vaut. » Fait que si tu listes une propriété à 800 000 puis qu'elle en vaut 700 000, je me souviens quand le marché était en train de galoper, les évaluateurs étaient perdus. Ils ne savaient plus quoi dire, quoi mettre comme prix. Comme nous, on ne savait plus. Mais ça, ce n'est pas normal. Ce qui est arrivé dans les dernières années, ce n'est pas normal puis ça n'arrivera plus. Parce que je ne pense pas que ça peut arriver. Et à moins qu'on ait une autre pandémie, qu'on ait un autre premier ministre qui imprime de l'argent, ça, c'est une autre conversation. Okay? Fait que, l'important, c'est de comprendre que vous n'êtes pas responsable pour le prix. Étant donné que vous n'êtes pas responsable pour le prix, ben, dites la vérité. OK? Dites la vérité à votre client. C'est bon? OK. Ça, j'en ai parlé.
So someone who's listed for 1.6 million on Découvrez, for example, okay, and you know the evaluation is 1.1, 1.2.
How much is he asking?
They're asking 1.6, right? And your evaluation aggressively, let's say 1.1, okay? Them putting it at 1.6, finding a buyer for the 1.6 that needs financing, they're actually putting themselves, they are putting themselves at risk to actually not get a buyer to get the loan from the bank. It's
Absolutely.
not evaluated at 1.6.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, when you have a listing, the minute you have a buyer and he sends you an offer and it's accepted now, what does the bank
The
do?
bank evaluates that loan?
Exactly.
The bank sends you an evaluator. They want to make sure that what they're lending is worth. They're not going to give you
Right.
80% of 1.6 when it's not even worth 1.1. They're not
No,
going
but
to.
you still can find this, but you have to come with a difference.
Yeah, you could. The bank's going to come with 1.1. They'll lend you, let's say, $1 million. They'll say, come up with the difference. It's okay.
25%.
And that happens in commercial all the time.
So I
All
want
the
to find
time.
that special buyer that's dreaming.
Well, unless that special buyer loves it so much that is willing to pay cash for it,
Yeah.
or willing to pay 60% above asking, above the value, which doesn't make any sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
The bank
Look, in 15 years of career, I never had that buyer that just wants to overpay. Okay? Never happened.
Okay.
That was been trying. Okay, unless he has a bag of money somewhere he wants to get rid of, yeah, ain't gonna happen.
Those are
Okay?
good properties to have, but just let them sit, let them wait.
Well, I mean, if you follow up with them enough, you're gonna get them eventually.
No.
So, I'm gonna teach, je vais vous apprendre quelque chose de simple, ok? Si vous voyez les scripts que vous avez dans votre livre par rapport à l'ajustement de prix, est-ce que quelqu'un qui a son livre avec lui? Non? Les scripts, tu le vois? C'est correct. Tu l'as avec toi?
Yeah.
OK. Va dans les ajustements de prix. Vous allez voir ces 3-4 questions qui sont très simples. Mais je vais vous apprendre une chose. Prends n'importe laquelle.
Ajustement des prix.
Oh, oui.
Baisse de prix,
Baisse de prix, oui.
The question is like, how many visits are there? How many offers are there?
Yeah, that's the basics of it. But I just want to ask you something. So you use any of them. What do you have?
So skip 2, baisse de prix.
Uh-huh.
That one. So, donc, number 1, bonjour. C'est juste de voir le page quartier. Comment allez-vous? Selon notre service à la clientèle, je vous appelle pour vous donner une mise à jour sur la commercialisation de votre propriété. Avez-vous un moment pour moi?
Oui.
En ce moment, il y a 5 propriétés en vente sur MLS dans votre secteur. À tous les mois, il y a environ 1 qui se vend. À tous les mois, un autre 3 nouvelles propriétés se mettent sur le marché pour remplacer ceux qui sont vendus. Basé sur cette information, ça pourrait prendre du temps pour vendre la vôtre. N'êtes-vous pas d'accord?
OK, arrête. Avez-vous remarqué, est-ce que dans ce qu'elle dit, est-ce qu'il y a une justification? Non. Est-ce qu'elle est en train de se justifier? Non. Qu'est-ce qu'elle est en train de faire? Elle pose la question avec des statistiques. Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui peut débattre les statistiques?
Non.
On peut dire ce qu'on veut, mais à la fin de la journée, c'est voici combien de maisons qui sont sur le marché, voici en a combien qui se sont ajoutées, voici en a combien qui se sont vendues, voici en a combien qui se sont expirées. Ça, c'est des vrais chiffres. Est-ce qu'on peut débattre ces chiffres-là? Donc, vois-tu, c'est quoi la question? Pose la question.
Après ça?
Non, juste à la fin de ça.
Basé sur cette information, ça pourrait prendre du temps pour vendre la vôtre. N'êtes-vous pas d'accord?
Quand elle me pose la question, est-ce que je suis d'accord ou pas? Je peux dire non. Non, je ne suis pas d'accord. C'est quoi tu fais quand. Attends, c'est quoi tu fais quand on te donne une réponse que tu ne veux pas entendre? Est-ce qu'on veut l'entendre? Non? On va entendre que. Non, oui, attends. Quand tu rentres dans les pourquoi, tu commences à t'embarquer dans des justifications. Tu dis, OK, passe à l'autre question.
Présentement, nous demandons 650 000 pour votre propriété, n'est-ce pas?
Mm-hmm.
À ce jour, votre propriété a été sur le marché 35 jours. Étiez-vous au courant?
Ah oui, ça fait déjà 35 jours?
Non.
Souvent, ils pensent que ça fait 2 semaines.
genre.
OK.
Savez-vous que nous avions eu approximativement 2 acheteurs qui ont visité sur votre propriété? Combien d'offres avons-nous reçues jusqu'à présent? En se basant sur cela, qu'est-ce que vous pensez?
Vous voyez, c'est des questions pures. Hein? C'est des questions, mais là, je vais vous apprendre quelque chose. Après que vous posez la question, fermez votre boîte. Listen. Écoutez comment il respire, écoutez qu'est-ce qu'il dit, écoutez sa tonalité. Écoutez, parce que ça va vous en dire beaucoup. Ça va vous en dire beaucoup. Quand vous posez les questions, vous arrêtez de parler. Laissez-le parler. Ce n'est pas à vous de justifier. Regardez bien. Qui est plus à risque, vous ou lui? Okay. La propriété, elle vaut 1 million. 950 000 va à qui? À lui. Fait que c'est qui est le plus perdant là-dedans s'il ne vend pas? Et voilà. Donc, votre travail, c'est de lui dire la vérité. Votre travail, c'est de poser la question et d'attendre la réponse. Donc, quand tu lis une question, premièrement, lisez-la au même niveau que la personne. Si la personne, elle répond lentement, lisez pas comment Jessica l'a lu. Mais si la personne parle vite, lisez exactement comment Jessica l'a lu. Ajustez-vous à son niveau. Je vais vous donner un truc, okay? Je vais vous dire quelque chose. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez d'une personne qui parle très rapidement?
Peut-être.
D'accord?
No time.
No time.
Ben, je pense que pas trop de confiance.
Pas trop de confiance, tu perds ta confiance. OK. Quoi d'autre?
Nervous?
Doesn't know what he's talking
They're
about.
what?
Nervous?
They're nervous.
People.
Nervous, yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about. Okay. And how about when a person talks? Extremely slow. What's that?
Just
On
woke up.
Just woke up on medicine.
They could be,
He's
That's
analytical,
too slow.
analyzing, boring. Okay, guess what? You are the same to them. If you're talking slower than them, you are these people. And if you're talking faster than them, you are these people.
So you catch the same way?
You gotta catch that wave. Whatever their speed is, that's where you gotta go at. Now, you can slow them down if you want to. So if they're talking very fast like this, you gotta be talking fast like this. And you gotta be answering their questions at that speed. And then eventually what you do is you slow down just a little bit by little bit, and then what happens is they're gonna adjust to your speed.
Calm down.
Yes, you got to create that connection, okay? So, don't try to justify yourself. C'est pas à vous là, de vous asseoir et de commencer à essayer de vous justifier par rapport au prix. Votre travail, c'est de poser des questions, écouter la réponse, essayer de comprendre où est-ce qu'il en est rendu, le vendeur, dans son analyse, à quel moment est-ce qu'il serait prêt à ajuster le prix. Puis si ce n'est pas maintenant, ce sera dans une semaine ou dans 2 semaines. Mais n'acceptez pas rien de moins que le 5 ou le 10 %. Jamais, jamais, jamais. C'est bon? OK, good. OK, j'ai bien couvert ça. OK. Je vais vous poser une question. Vous prenez 10 listings. OK? Puis en moyenne, ça prend 10 semaines de vendre chaque listing. Okay? Peu importe, vous les prenez une semaine chaque, ça prend 10 semaines. C'est combien d'appels de service à la clientèle vous devez avoir au total? Vous prenez 10 listings, puis en moyenne, ça prend 10 semaines pour vendre chaque listing. 100. How long is a call on a customer service call? 5 minutes? OK. Ça fait combien de minutes au total? 5 fois 100. 500 minutes. C'est combien d'heures, ça? 8 heures. 8 heures de perdu dans votre vie. C'est 8 heures de perdu dans votre vie qui ne sont pas efficaces. 8 heures. Parce que vous êtes supposé appeler votre client toutes les semaines pour lui donner un compte rendu sur l'inscription. Right? Et vous prenez 5 minutes, vous allez dire, ah, c'est 5 minutes. Non, 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 non. C'est 5 minutes fois 10 fois 10. 500 minutes. 500 minutes, c'est quasiment 10 heures. 8 heures, 7, 8 heures. En 8 heures, tu peux faire combien de contacts? Combien de contacts tu fais par heure, en moyenne par heure?
Par heure, moi, je fais environ 16,
16,
17.
17 fois 8, ça fait 200 contacts. Right? Des appels. Et ça te prend combien de contacts avant d'avoir un rendez-vous? 23 pour avoir un rendez-vous. Ça t'en prend combien pour faire une vente?
23.
Fait que c'est combien de moins est-ce que ça va prendre? Combien de listings en moins est-ce que tu prends parce que tu perds ton temps ailleurs? C'est ça la question qu'il va vous poser. Ce qu'il va falloir qu'on pose comme question, c'est est-ce que je peux faire ça plus vite? Et la meilleure manière de le faire plus vite, c'est quoi? C'est d'avoir le bon prix immédiatement au moment où vous prenez l'inscription. Même si je suis en train de vous dire que c'est correct de prendre 5 % de plus, ce que j'essaie de vous expliquer, c'est que essayez de ne même pas appliquer ça. Allez au 0 %, allez au prix de vente. Souvent, on me dit, Fadi, quand je fais l'analyse de marché, je prends les comparables, on va dire que j'arrive à un prix de 828 000. Combien de plus est-ce que je dois le lister? Je dis 828. Oui, mais combien de plus? 828. Oui, mais il n'y aura plus de jeu de négociation.
819.
Encore mieux. Okay? Là, tu vas avoir encore pas mal plus, tu vas le vendre pas mal plus vite. Ce qui est important, c'est de comprendre cette partie-là. Le prix, les amis, là, il n'y a pas, vous devez toujours être, quand l'acheteur est en train de chercher une propriété, quand vous êtes en train d'acheter, vous voulez acheter ça, là, OK? Vous envoyez 200 sur Amazon. C'est quoi vous faites? Vous allez filtrer par prix. Après ça, on choisit. J'aime pas le premier bar. Non. Ah, mais lui, je suis pas payé. Lui, non. Ah, lui, pas payé. Right? Mais c'est la même chose que le client fait. Le client va dire, moi, je cherche 3 chambres à coucher, 2 salles de bain à Antique. il va avoir des prix à 8 millions, puis il va avoir des prix à 600 000. Ça se peut que son budget soit déjà 3 millions. Bon, il ne gardera pas sur à 800 000. Mais il va commencer à 3 millions. Il ne commencera pas à 4 millions. Peu importe son budget, il va commencer à son budget. Et s'il peut avoir un meilleur budget, si son budget c'est 3 millions, ben, il va quand même les regarder sur à 2 millions. Right? So you have to be the best price in your category all the time. All the time. Okay? You had a question?
How does you guys is it all like the property or is it number? Like this, are you cold calling people all day?
I'm cold calling, not all day, about 2.5 to 3 hours a day. Depending on what you want to call. But I usually use the same system. I usually call about 10 COIs, circle of influence. Then I call about 10, 15 visibles, profiles. And then I go just listen to sold. And then I hit 4 or 5 expires.
Like we're not.
No, that's on the way home. On the way home, I'll stop and go on that. I can just go there on the way home. So that's my goal this month.
Good. How many transactions did you do last year, first year? 19? 18?
First year?
Damn, you did like me. I did 19 my first year.
It was your first year?
Last year.
Good. Good. How many are you at now?
We don't discuss
I like it. I
I'm
like
at 13.
it. Good. Good. I'm proud of you.
That's good.
OK. So, une des choses que vous devez absolument apprendre, c'est les statistiques. Avez-vous remarqué que ça parle de statistiques lorsqu'on appelle pour ajuster le prix? Pourquoi? Statistiques. Connaître les statistiques. Pourquoi est-ce que c'est si important d'appeler et poser, d'avoir les statistiques quand on parle de... Est-ce que, si on dit « je pense, je crois », ça vaut quoi ça? Tes croyances, là, on s'en fout.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So you have to have these stats. You have to have these stats. What I used to do is before the calls, so let's say, for example, I'm going to call on Friday. On Thursday, what my assistant used to do, she would pull out all the stats, all the properties that sold in their neighborhood, all the properties that expired, and all the properties that are new on the neighborhood. And she'll send them to the client before I even call them. So they'll see. And she'll send them in resume, you know, Banana Street, $6.99, new on the market. New on the market. Sold. And the ones that were sold, she would send the pictures. So they know who was sold. So then when they're listed at 800 and the one at 750 sold, that's actually nice. Even if they don't want to admit it, they'll look at the pictures like, oh, shit, that's a nice house. Is your house worth now 800,000? It's not. You know? So that's, and then they get my call the next day. Right? So I give them 24 hours to digest the statistics. Okay? So, vous devez absolument connaître vos statistiques sur le bout de vos doigts. Qui s'est vendu, quand est-ce que ça s'est vendu, pourquoi ça s'est vendu, ça ressemble à quoi. C'est important parce que vous n'allez jamais être capable d'ajuster le prix ou d'aller chercher un prix correct si vous n'avez pas fait votre travail d'avance. C'est bon? Good. Avez-vous des questions pour moi? Questions, yes.
When you go through your listing presentation, do you mention that you might have to reduce it from time to time?
So, good question, yes. So, what I do is this. The minute I list a property, the minute they sign, after they sign, wait for the signature. Don't get overexcited. Wait for the signature. The minute it's signed and you're about to leave, that's when we give them the following. Okay, so the following is this. By the way, thank you very much, Luda, for giving me, that listing. I hope I'm going to sell it. I'm going to work very hard. I'll start tonight. Just so we know, one of the 3 things will happen in the next 3 weeks. One, we would have a lot of visits, hopefully an offer, get accepted, and maybe sell it. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, right? So there's also 2 other options. If we get a lot of visits, tons of visits, like 20, I tell them a number, and a little bit higher than what I'm willing to accept. Okay, like 20, and no offers, that means, just got to adjust a little amount, just a little 5%. Now, on $1 million, how much is that?
50,000.
Do I say 50,000?
Absolutely
You
not.
never talk about numbers. You talk about percentages. Okay? And that normally does it for you, Eva. But in the case that there's no visits, like 3-4 visits, and no offers, then we're going to need to adjust a small amount, maybe 10%. I believe that will help. Okay? So you've already said it. Yeah, I always do that. I never leave without saying these three things.
Is it bad leaving on a bad tone like that though?
It's
You
just,
give them
in
the
case
option
this
of
is what's
selling.
gonna
Just in
happen.
case, just to know where you're going. Because they need to know where you're going.
The seed is planted already. and they're
Absolutely.
aware.
But
Absolutely.
there's a lot of anxiety, so like,
Yeah, well, it is
that's
what
what
it
it
is.
is, exactly.
It is what it is. There's always going to be anxiety until they sell and buy and move in.
I'm not sure if we shouldn't be saying it, but I say it all the time.
I say it all the
I
time.
say that we list it at a great price. With this price, we're probably able to sell it in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
If not,
If not,
we're
this is-
really far away, but we're getting visits, we'll probably have to adjust 5% and we'll get it.
And
sold.
generally, when you're leaving, you know if you're listed at the right price.
Right.
Of course.
Like if you did really your analysis and you know the market and you've seen like, dude, that price, there's always demand for that price. 700,000-800,000 that area, no problem. Yeah.
And how long do you can sign a contract for?
I never sign under 6 months in this market. In a buyer's market, I never sign under 12 months. I always take 12 months.
The seller's 6 months?
In this type of market, which is a seller's market, we call it, which means that inventory is under 8 months, is 6 months. If it's
At 5%?
Huh?
At 5%?
6, yeah, I tried 6 all the time.
It's just-
Yeah.
And then they come in 5.
Well, I mean, if I have to cut, it's much easier to go down to 5 than to go up to 6.
Yeah.
So you start at 6, and hopefully you can close it at 6. And a lot of times you're gonna, look, guys, 6 is not a big deal. You guys think it's a big deal. A lot of stuff. If they find value in what you have to say, they have confidence. They're looking at you and like, that guy can sell.
Yeah.
Like, I always say to them, look, at the end of the day, you're not paying me anything until I sell, right?
Mhm.
Let me sell. Then you decide how you feel.
It's 6 months for sellers and
6 months in a seller's market,
Yeah,
and up to 12 months in a buyer's market.
In the balance market.
About 9 months. Yeah, I haven't seen a balanced market since 2014. I think the last time. We're getting there, but I don't think we're going to get there anytime soon.
So with your buyers, like when you say property, it's been there for like more than 9 months. Like, can you negotiate more with the?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's up to you
Is
to-
it a 10%?
The first thing you got to do is when you're working with a buyer, you need to really know what it's worth too. So you need to do your work, your homework. You still need to do your CMA. I'll give you an example. So I had this agent who lists a lot in Montreal. She lists at any price. I've never seen normal prices. Not gonna make very nice lady. You know who it is? Like, if you know, keep it to yourself. Okay, keep it to yourself.
Like what's
And I called her up and I said, dude, like, where the hell did you get that number? And she starts laughing. She says, that's what he wants. I said, okay, but you know it's not worth that. She says, I know. She says, but I know you. Because I know her well. She says, I know you, Fadi, and I know you've done your homework, and I know you know exactly what it's worth. I said, I know to the penny what it's worth. She says, great. Send me your analysis. Send me the offer and send me your analysis. So I bought the property 15% below asking. And the seller was not willing to budge a penny. But at the end, he looked at the analysis, he could not say anything about it. Like, it's clear. So you want to sell? Great. You don't want to sell? Fine. Keep your
So why
property.
is she taking that? Why is she
I
taking
don't
it
know.
just when you
I
have
have no
volume
idea.
or?
I think so.
Then she's sitting on 100 distance and not selling.
I know. I know. And it's a lot of management. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Managing 100, like the most I've had was 50 some distance.
But you're getting fish at the same time, but you're right, the management.
Look, it's the problem is I always, what do I teach you guys?
I'm not down with
What are the 3 things I teach you?
right?
3 elements. I always say, every morning I say that to myself. What are the 3 things? Today I am productive. Okay. Today I'm profitable. And today I'm effective. What is effective? Effective is to do the 80% of the work in 20% of your time. Profit is to make sure, hey, I'm making a lot of sales. But how much is net? How much is the net? And the net is not big enough. I don't care about the sales. Okay? Productive is, what am I doing with the time that I'm actually working? So let's say I want to work 8 hours. What am I doing in those 8 hours? Am I generating something or am I just wasting time? Okay? And then I'm generating something good. Is it profitable? So I go back to that 100 listing, 100 plus listing. Yeah, there's sales that happen. They do. Guys like me are able to convince the seller and make the deal happen. It's going to happen. But at a cost. The cost is an army of staff. Buyer's agents, administrative assistants, people answering phones, people answering emails, advertisers.
So is it worth it?
And you might lose them as a future client.
Absolutely.
Because if you're listing it at the right price and you're selling at the right price properly, as opposed to listing it high and then dropping his price weekly until you sell it,
It's so draining.
he's not gonna feel like you did as much as you could have done originally. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
As opposed to you listed his property, okay, you know what, Mike got it at the right price, told me exactly what the thing was, sold it in 3 weeks, and he got me 10,000 more than asking. He's referring you to his brother, sister, mother.
And you always got to go look a lot. Our industry is screwed up. Our industry is screwed up because our industry values GCI, gross commission income. So once I had a meeting with a he was a top agent at the time in volume, and I had a nice dinner with him, 2-hour dinner, long dinner.
2 hours is
Like, it's long for me. You know?
Half an hour dinner is long.
Like, dude, it's very long.
Very long.
Like that, so it's almost a year. So I'm having dinner with, but I had a very nice dinner with him, and then I said, so let me ask you, so what's your gross commission income? He smiles, says, you know my numbers pretty well. I'm sure you know what my number is. And I said, yeah, it should be about that. He says, you're right, it's very close. I said, so what is it? So he gives me the number. I said, okay. And I said, what's the net? And he smiles. He says, come on, it's private. I said, do you want me to tell you what's your net? He looks at me, says, yeah. And I gave him a number. Okay. I'm going to give you both numbers. It's 1.6 and 350. Okay. And he said to me, he looked at me, and I'll never forget his face. He looks at me and he says, how the hell did you know? I said, do you want me to tell you the breakdown of that money? How you spend your money?
I see your face in the posters and in the bus booth. That's how you spend
I gave him everything. Stocks. I said, that's what you're getting. He says, oh my God. He says, you're so good. He says, actually, it was 359. I was off by 9,000 on his net. Okay. And I said to him, what's more important, this number or this number? Which one do you think is more important?
No.
The net. And what did he say? Net. I said, so I'm going to ask you a question. What if I could find you a way, or coach you, or train you on a way that you would make that number working half the time with one cell phone and none of the crap that you do? How would you feel about that? He says, what do you mean? I said, I could show you ways that you will still get that net, but instead of having 2 cell phones that don't stop ringing, you have one and it barely rings. And then you have time to see your kids and your wife on weekends instead of working, and not have that whole team behind you. And he said, that's great. I could tell you it's not working here. Why?
He's not in the business.
Well, because
Oh, no, he's in
people,
business.
They want that. They want the turns around.
They want that GCI. They want that recognition. The ego is more important than money.
Exactly. When people ask you who you are, what you do, they're all
Remember, so what you're saying is normal, but that answers your question about having 100 listings. You got it? For me, I don't care about 100 listings. This year, we've lost almost 60 agents. Oh, it doesn't matter. You know how many transactions I lost? 40. Out of 60 people. They're the deadwood anyways. I don't care. I've lost 2 good ones, but it's okay. But it happens. They're okay. But the important thing is not is at the end of the day, it's about what's important. So if you have a client, you have a seller that's not serious about his price, cancel the damn contract. Because every week you gotta call him, every week you gotta call him, every week you gotta do something. And it's on MLS, and then you're getting a call, and then you're getting an email contact, and then you're getting an agent that's calling you and bothering you about the paperwork, and so on and so forth. If the price doesn't make sense, get rid of it.
You just tell him what.
Cancel the contract. I'm sorry, I can't sell it. After 3-4 times, if I try to adjust the price and
But
there's
even
nothing to
before
do,
you sign the contract. if you
generally
sign
don't
a-
even get there, like, generally try to do it properly from the beginning. But if
Yeah.
you're stuck with a bad listing,
Does OSAQ like ever look into like if you want to cancel a contract? Like I
You're right.
I have the right to just cancel.
absolutely, yeah. You say, look, I cannot help you sell that property, you send them an amendment, you say,
Look, so the
Off-
offer for your price.
yeah, not at that price.
For your
Me, it's after 3-4 times, if I try to adjust the price 3-4 times and it's no, at that 3rd or 4th time, one of the scripts actually say,
and he
the option
said
is
he
to give you
doesn't-
back the contract. Look at your script.
Don't you send both?
Huh?
Don't you send an amendment or a cancellation? You just send both and see what you choose.
Which one
Sir,
is-
right now you have
which
2
one is
options. Either we're dropping the price or
Or,
we're canceling the
Yeah,
contract.
let's do it, try
You
it.
choose, you sign.
I love it, I love it. Sabina, come.
At this point, we're done.
So Sabina has something to say to you guys. So je vais la laisser parler. Vas-y.
Good afternoon, welcome. Familiar faces, new faces. Just want to make a quick check to make sure that everybody saw we have a new insurance plan that is going to be kicking in. All of the forms need to be completed and they needed to be submitted by no later than the 1st of July.
This is private insurance?
It is, so if you were with Desjardins, this is your new insurance. Okay? If you have a private insurance, the package that you received from Kareem has all of the comparative analysis for what plan we had versus what plan we're getting. There is about a 40% cost saving, so it's really advantageous. We're now rolling up into the Royal LePage head office plan, which is giving us a lot more aggressive pricing. So if you have your own private insurance, I really recommend you take a look and see. Ultimately though, if you have your own, that's fine. And if you want to join this one, otherwise your insurance with Desjardins will no longer exist, okay?
From the July?
1st of July, get the forms in by 1st of July because there's a processing time.
Is it mandatory?
You mandatory to have
You have
insurance.
to have insurance.
Yes,
It's not mandatory to use this one, but you have to have insurance.
it's health insurance.
You know that?
It's part of the, so it's going to be to the info account. And in all
You have to have
documentation, there's an info account at the So this is going to be at you didn't receive the package chance, you have not received the
But
package yet.
they're not agents.
Yeah, so it's not going to be applicable for you yet, but at the time when it does come, we will definitely
So what's the insurance?
Greenleaf, gold leaf, greenleaf. Greenleaf. But it's a very comprehensive
You
and.
know the company?
No, I already Googled.
You did?
Okay,
So I just, yeah.
Okay,
I didn't have a
And
chance
that's
yet,
because I
so,
had my previous job, I have also this Desjardins.
okay,
So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking quickly at, you know, how patient I am. So I just looked very quickly. So really, it's the same plan, but costs us much less.
yes, cost is
That's
much
what it
less.
You have all the same stuff.
Price and, you know, this.
The only thing that doesn't include is life insurance. But honestly, I don't really care.
Glasses, it doesn't include.
Every, I think, 24
Yeah,
months.
no, it's the same.
Glasses?
Yes.
No, they're not this
No,
one.
fish?
I think they do the test.
The eye exam.
The eye
Oh,
exam.
okay,
not the
not the
glasses.
glasses. I'll double check that.
I think so.
Just jot that. If you have any questions, myself, Tina, Zane, any three of us. feel free.
Kambiz, we already sent you the insurance form. It's sent by Kareem. Go look in your emails. It's written from Kareem. You're welcome.
Any other questions? All right.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Thanks,
afternoon.
Sabina. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye, guys, online.